We call him Monkey Cat.
Oh, wow.
It's because he looks like a monkey.
He looks like a grumpy monkey right now. Hey guys, another round of Keeping Connected by the PTO. My name is Till, Triathlon MC and your host for the day. And today I have another fantastic guest all the way from New Zealand. And I'm not gonna lie, she does scare me because pretty much every long distance race she wins in course record time. So let's catch up with Teresa Adams. Teresa, how are you?
Hi, I'm good, thank you. Thanks for having me.
What's the lockdown or the corona situation over there? Like, New Zealand, in terms of international news, seems to stay out of it. So I have no idea what's going on over there. How's life at the moment?
That's interesting you say that, because we get a lot of international news and we're kind of, looking at what's happening around the world. But for us, we kind of shut down pretty quickly. Like, we're on a level 4 alert, like a national emergency. So the whole country is locked down. We've got I think there's 1,000 cases here, and we've had 1 death. But about 2 weeks, we've been on lockdown for about 2 weeks now. So that means everyone stays in their houses. You're only allowed to go out to get groceries or to the pharmacy. We can go for short walks and rides in the neighborhood. There was a bit of confusion for the first week or so, because a lot of cyclists were going out and still doing like 100K rides. And half of the people, like myself, were just riding indoors. So it was like we weren't sure what was okay and what wasn't. But over the week or so, everyone sort of scaled it right back down, and it's sort of stay in your neighborhood. So for me, that would be like a 1 or 2K loop, ride. So I'm just not riding outside. I'm just riding inside. So yeah, we've been pretty much locked down for 2 weeks now.
Do you know how long your lockdown is planned?
Yeah, so they have said that it was 4 weeks, so we've got another 2 weeks to go.
Okay.
And so far that hasn't changed. But it's, every day we get updates on what's happening and whether we'll stay in lockdown or, yeah.
How has that so far changed your season? What was the season plan?
Yeah, I mean, obviously for everyone it's changed a lot. I had planned to go to Europe. Obviously I was sitting in the PTO team to race the Collins Cup, so that would have been my next race in May. So we'd planned to come over to Europe, but obviously that's not happening. So I just taking it easy and just slowly building back up. There's not really a race. Not sure what race will be next, to be honest.
Yeah, I think nobody knows, but I really hope that we in some form or shape get the Collins Cup. It sounds a hell of a lot of fun, and it sounds like a lot of the athletes were excited about it as well. And you have some amazing team captains, so a hell lot of experience on Team International there, without a doubt. Did you have a chance at all to see like who the competition was, who was sort of like sitting in the European rankings and the US rankings, or did you not have the time for it?
Nah. I don't really look at that sort of thing. I like to focus on myself. I know that's a bit selfish, and well, it's not really. I mean, I just focus on what I'm doing and then turn up and race as best I can. You know what I mean? So I don't like to let a lot of noise in or really look at what else is going on. Yeah.
Interesting. It's so interesting to see how different athletes are. Like, I know there were a couple of athletes who instantly wrote to the team captains like, I want to race this in this guy or this in this girl. Like, I want to be seated like this. So they were really into figuring out who's there and what the best tactics are and everything. You just want to go out and smash it.
I mean, maybe it's a Kiwi thing. We're just quite, just do our own thing. Not that I don't care. It's just, I'd rather focus on what I'm doing,
Fair enough.
Yeah.
What have you been doing as a kid? What was the childhood dream?
When I was a kid, I guess that was in water polo. So that was, my initial dream was to play for New Zealand at water polo, which I achieved. And then it was to go to the Olympics playing water polo for New Zealand, which we didn't achieve as a team. So I kind of moved on, like, no, not because of that, but I just felt like So I played from when I was about 15 to sort of like 18, but for all the New Zealand teams, like age group teams leading up to like sort of senior women. I started to do some like running and then I got a bike and did a triathlon, and that just sort of individual sport for me really kind of like resonated with me. I felt like I was always training like really, really hard for water polo and always playing really, really hard, but say someone else on the team wasn't, that would kind of get to me. So then I want to control, if that sounds
yeah. Well, that whole triathlon thing so far seems to be working out quite well. So not a bad turn of events. I was saying it in the intro, it's like your Ireland wins, like they have one thing in common, and that's just course record. How much does it mean to you? Is it something that drives you?
Yeah, definitely. Like I just like to go hard, and I like training. I like going hard, and I like racing, you know, so it's those course records and things, they just come with that, I guess.
And don't we all know the feeling? You know, it's just those course records, they just come with it. I love it. I'm gonna use that as a quote in the future. You know, you've been 30. There's still a lot of, well, should be still a lot of great years ahead of you. What's next? What's on the bucket list? What dreams are there?
See, that's not really me either.
Really?
I just roll with it. Nah, I don't really think about much. I mean, obviously most of it's sort of short term. I line up for a race and I want to win that race, and then I think, okay, what race do I do next?
So far, most of your fantastic races are a little one-sided to the whole Oceania area. So we need to bring you more over here. I'm going to leave that to the POAP team.
Yeah, and that's where they've come in and been pretty awesome. And I guess that was my next goal, was to race Ironman Austria and win that one for the team and be there with the team, because they're based in Klagenfurt where Ironman Austria is. So that would have been a really exciting race this year, but, you know, fingers crossed next year. You know, I'm not sure what's happening with the world, you know, hopefully it'll settle down.
Hopefully, yeah. I mean, I'm sure we'll all be back to racing at some point, without a doubt. You seem to be still quite upbeat and positive thinking, big smile on the face. So you seem to be fine with the situation so far.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah, I like, you know, a lot of people previously had sort of mentioned how I don't race that much. So having big blocks of just training, you know, and not having really a goal for months and months I'm kind of used to that. Because like I said, I really enjoy training. Like I don't have trouble getting up and, I don't know, getting on the wind trainer or, you know, going for a run. I just enjoy it a lot.
Not too many people can say that about their job.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that just it's the type of people that Ironman or long distance triathletes are, you know what I mean? That's why we get drawn to it.
How much indoor training have you done before the lockdown? Was it?
Not much. Yeah, so I've probably done more indoor rides the last 2 weeks than I've done in like a whole year. You know what I mean? Like yeah, not a lot.
Did you do any panic preparation? Did you like buy a last minute treadmill or things like that? Or
yeah, I had to get a smart trainer, but my partner works in a bike shop, so that wasn't too hard. We just grabbed one from them.
You literally didn't even own a smart trainer before?
No.
I'm amazed. No. Everybody's talking about how like the indoor training, the specific training and everything, it's what you need today. And there you are without a smart trainer, just nailing 840 times on the long distance.
Yeah, I don't, I guess where I live as well, like we live in Auckland, and it's pretty mild. Like I would say, you know, if I lived in a place where it got really, really cold in the winter and it was snowing, you'd need one. It rains a lot here. The weather is pretty crappy for a majority of the year, but it's not super cold. Like you can go out on a ride, you'll get soaked, like completely like drenched, but if you wear proper layers, you'll be all right. Yeah.
All right. Hey, I live in a sunny area. I'll be like, 2 raindrops? Hell no, I'm not going out. Yeah. Right. So you say you don't think of like, okay, this is still on the bucket list and those dreams are there and so on, but have you played a little bit in your mind with like race times? I mean, we are already looking at I said like long distance, 8 hours 40, and so on out there. Have you looked at like the fastest times in history?
I don't know what the fastest time is. I really don't.
It's amazing. You just blow my mind. This is such a different conversation than so many other athletes, where it's like all the details, they know everything and so on, and you're just like, next race.
Yeah, pretty much. We don't because I guess when I was younger, when I got into triathlon after water polo, I was like super intense and like I was really like super focused, but I burnt out and broke down. But I thought that was how you were supposed to be, and it was kind of pulling at me, my personality. And then I guess I changed a lot, getting back into it, and then met my partner, and he's just super like chill, down to earth, like he just helps me realize that none of that stuff really matters. It's just, and it's not me, and it just made me unhappy as a person. I'm like insanely happy now, and we barely talk about triathlon ever.
Amazing.
I love training, and I love triathlon, I love the sport, but I'm happier if I'm not thinking about it or talking about it all the time. Like, we sit there and watch bike racing all the time. We love cycling. That's something that we're always watching, and I love that. But I don't really follow triathlon, if that makes sense, too much, because it just makes me feel a bit unhappy.
You love cycling races. That's interesting. Did you see Lionel Sanders do the e-race the other day?
I did see he was lining up against some of the hitters, and Dan said, like, my partner Dan does a lot of Zwifting, and so I haven't yet done any Zwifting, purely because everyone's jumped on it now, and you can just see it's not like real life. And I think, again, that would just crack me. So I prefer to just do sessions and watch bike races on YouTube. But like, yeah, I think he did pretty well, didn't he?
He won.
He won.
He beat him.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Dan is your partner, right? Did I hear that right?
Yeah, Dan.
Where's he hiding away? Is he trying to stay out of the picture, or?
Yeah, he's playing FIFA on the PlayStation.
Well, you got to kill your time somehow. I reckon you guys get to spend more time together than ever before. How is that?
No, we spend 24/7 together all the time. So nothing's really changed. The only thing that's changed for me is I'm riding indoors and I'm swimming in my garden.
You seem insanely happy.
Yeah, I have a good life.
I love this. This for me right now is the perfect start into my day. I'm going to call you every morning now. I'm like, give me some of that positivity. What makes your life so good right now?
Dan.
There you go.
Yeah. And we're just doing what we love to do. I mean, yeah, there's lots of, we talk about occasionally when we got together, like, he obviously, when we first met, had a lot of external pressures, of expectations in his life. I had a lot of these pressures on myself. I didn't have external pressures as much. It was all sort of internal. And I don't know, we kind of, when we met, we just sort of gelled, and it just sort of offsets. Like, he helps me out, I help him, and we work together really well. Yeah.
So you don't talk about triathlon much when you're home. You do watch bike races, but like, what else do you do? What are your hobbies? What do you do when life is not about triathlon or YouTube?
Hang out with my cat.
Oh, where's the cat?
He's around here somewhere.
Somewhere?
I think he's here somewhere.
What's his name?
Can I get him?
Sure.
Well, we called him Monkey Cat. I'll just grab him. Here we go.
Oh wow.
It's because he looks like a monkey.
He looks like a grumpy monkey right now.
Oh yeah, because I just woke him up.
I think
can't hold him either.
Fair enough. I think that's the first. I think so far we've only had dogs on the show.
Oh, well, he's the sweetest. He looks like a lemur, lemur.
What's his name?
Well, I think he's got multiple names, but we call him Monkey Cat because he looks like a monkey. But is a neighbour's cat, but he spends all his time here. And then they said they're probably moving, so if they move, because he's kind of old, we can keep him. So we started feeding him, and he never leaves.